I can't personally stress enough how big of a player Moser is going to be in the future.
Yes.
And not only because you have collectors like Zed that are excited about the brand, but the moves and the pieces that have put in play by, Moser's parent company and the Meylan brothers and family that own this company to secure their future.
Yes.
Right. And so anyone who understands Moser's business, they own a company that makes parts, hairsprings, and they've invested in other businesses that are related to the watch industry, but don't specialize in making watches.
Yes.
And to be able to have the ability to position yourself like that secures your future as a group with respect to the watch brand that you own, because you have a long runway and you can be creative. And so they've created a situation where they have a lot of freedom. And so now these special things can happen, like a piece unique for a Zed.
Yes.
Right? It's not driven by profit. It's a business, but they're so good at their business that they have afforded themselves a space to be driven by passion.
Yes.
And if you can afford a Moser,
yes,
run to the store in your local AD right now and buy one.
Yeah.
Get anything you can get.
Yeah.
Try to get a streamliner.
which is very interesting, because Moser was pretty active this time around for Geneva Watch Days, because they also released another watch with a brand that I am a huge fan of.
Studio Underdog.
Studio Underdog.
I didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And listen, admittedly, and they know it, not every watch is for everyone. This release was not for me.
No.
But again, it speaks to them being driven by passion.
Yes.
It's an expensive set. I think you get the 2 watches for $65,000.
Yes.
It's going to sell out because we know there are hardcore, diehard Moser fans out there that collect them. It could be one of those things that could be a special thing down the line.
Yes.
And if it isn't, it doesn't make it any less special. Yeah. I think for a brand like Moser that makes such high quality timepieces as they do, to associate with a brand like Studio Underdog, which is all about fun, right? You're never going to see anything like this again.
No,
not from any other brand. Right. And, some people think, oh, it's a gimmick. Oh, this is corny. This is whatever. It's not. It's actually a big power move. Yes. And it's a company that's making amazing timepieces that if you open up the case, the movements can compete with any of the top tier brands that you can think of. To be honest, probably knocking many of them out of the water.
Yes.
Because they really know how to make watches. And saying that, you know what, we can afford to do things that are fun.
Yes.
And a lot of other brands can't.
Yes.
And that's a big statement.
That is a big, bold statement.
And shout out to your guys.
Richard and the guys over at Studio Underdog. I was talking to a couple of people about, this collaborative piece. And of course, it may price out, Studio Underdog collectors, because the watch can be had at $500, right? You go from $500. The only way you can get it is if you spend 60, 70 grand, which is a tough pill to swallow. But I think it was very smart on Richard's play, because you don't want to box yourself in.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be the guy that sells watches at $500. You want to be someone that has the range to say, I can command a demand of 1,000x, or whatever it is, because you're starting to see Studio Underdog watches, limited edition pieces being sold on the secondary market. And, Rich is very passionate about the idea that he wants these watches to be for people that genuinely want them.
Yeah. And I think, I think it would even be a bigger statement if he doesn't raise the prices of his watches. Like, the thing with Studio Underdog is that it's accessible, but you also got to be quick on the draw.
Yes.
Like, just because it's for $500 watch doesn't mean that you can go someplace and just get it.
No, you can't.
No, they have a very serious community of collectors When their stuff drops, it's gone.
It's gone.
If you're not on top of it, see you later.
Yes.
And you'll never see the watch again.
No.
So I thought, from his perspective, it's a really great conversation in terms of the democratization of watches. Some people might disagree with that because the set is expensive. It's a $65,000 set, right? But that's not a $65,000 watch.
Yes.
Right? It's an accessory to the Moser, and it's a statement, set. And that statement is, we're having fun.
Yes.
Studio Underdog is a fun brand.
Yes.
For collectors. Their product happens to cost $500.
Yes.
Moser is a fun brand for collectors. Our watches happen to be, 30X. Nonetheless,
yes,
watch collecting is a hobby none of us need to engage in, but we do it because we're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And so it kind of removes money off of the table.
Yes.
And it shows people, right? Here are two watches that are not produced in large quantity, not easy to get, but there they are, existing in the same space with a bunch of weirdos in the venue wearing purple and gold bucket hats. You would have thought this was like a Lakers championship dinner or something like this.
Yes.
Because they're just happy. Yo, the smiles on everyone was drunk and happy.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never seen so many happy watch people in the room, like genuinely happy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Excited, like just over the moon, because this brand is incredible. Yeah. Shout out to Claudio.
Shout out to Claudio. Shout out to Richard.